That's not a good sign, is it? Uh-oh. Two, three, four, 234. Off to an auspicious start. I'm happy with it. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know in the chat. And hopefully it doesn't sound like the room. Check all my settings. Should be good. Should be good. I do not know what happened to the sound, though. That was really odd. Anywho. See if I can do it again. I want the chill vibe going in just so we can talk for half. It wants to go through the speakers and the bloody thing. I don't know. Okay. This might prove fun and a half. I'm see if maybe that will do. Let's see. Let's see if it sounds correct. I sound okay, so that's good. Let's see if you'll be able to hear this because it's wiring funky. I've never seen it do this before.
Always ask him.
Well, shucks-a-roo. Hold on. Uno momento, por favor. Let's try again. What a mess. It's been one of those days, I'll tell you that much. I made this one way too long at the beginning, didn't I?
Always ask him.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll go back again, but I just wanted to make sure everything was correct and say hello, everybody. Welcome to another TikTok Trash Tuesday, where I go out to movie TikTok and bring back what I hope are some juicy morsels. Today, we've got some good stuff. I'm sure there's some bad stuff in there as well. I always think I don't have a lot. And then when I get home and I got to just kind of go to the phone and go tap, 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 tap to all the ones that I've selected and saved throughout the week. I take those and I send them out to the computer and it's like, send 21 files. And I'm like, really? I always think I don't have enough, but sometimes I do. Thankfully, I looked at a lot of them. They're not all that long, but I will say this as well. Fair warning. I didn't get to edit out a lot of the what do you call it there? The CapCut bull crap that comes at the end, the bring, that kills me every single time. A little rush this evening, so you may hear a couple of those. So we'll see what happens with it. I hope not to you know jump out of a window. But welcome back, and thanks for showing up, everybody. Do me a big old giant favor, hit that like and subscribe button. We love to see you out here, and we love to see you help support this here program as well. Because here's the big thing, dude. I had a company today send me a no thank you letter. How about that, huh? I told them I got a little thing coming up here. That's not stop it. But I told them I have an event that's happening, and you guys will find out about it very soon. But I was like, hey, do you guys want to partner up and do something? They go, you ain't big enough. Excuse me. That was I was like, all right, okay, bet. And I sent them an email back that was essentially me saying, okay, I understand. Those are metrics that should be easily, doable at some point. I said, I just wanted to reach out to you because we had previously talked earlier and everything. And I just wanted to give you essentially first rights of refusal and everything. So I gave him you don't need my business. Okay. I don't need your business, chum. And then I sent a letter out to another, manufacturer. So you ain't stopping me, boy. A little bit of no, thank you, sir. Never stopped me. What Ernest P. Worrell say? I never knew when to give up. Ask my second grade teacher. Got that same mentality, baby. But again, yeah, thank you guys so much. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Now, dig this. And Alex, you're going to need to help me out with this because I know that you're listening in here and I know that you can do this and that you will do this. The other people are just floaters. And I love you floating, so please float along. Please subscribe and float. But Alex, I want you to do this one because it's finally starting to go out there, and I want to see if you have it and if other folks are able to do it as well. There is a new YouTube thing called the hype button. Does anyone know what this is? So when you go to a YouTube video, we have our standard regular, thumbs up and everything, right? Thumbs down. You don't do thumbs down because you're not a loser. But they got all the thumbs up and everything. There's a brand new button that I think you'll start seeing come up soon if you're not already seeing it now, called a hype button. Now, what that does, sorry, I got kind of there's Dr. Pepper flowing through me tonight. But with this hype button, it's only available to channels under a certain amount. I think it's like under 10,000 subscribers or something. No, not 10,000 subscribers. I got more than that. Under 100,000, something like that. There's some decent. Okay, so you don't have it yet. It's coming along. Watch out for that thing when you start to see this little. That's I wish I'll have a video of it for the next H&P and everything because I want people to see what it's going to look like because I've got it on my phone. I want people to see what that's going to be. So essentially, it's kind of like, if you will, free super likes, so to speak, right? So once you see that, you hit that hype button. You have like a certain number of them, a certain amount of time or whatever, and it kind of like boost that thing in the algorithm even more. It is kind of like, like I said, essentially a super like and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for things like that. I'm excited for that. And the only part that I'm a little bit bummed about is I can't super like my own videos. And I'm like, well, that's a bunch of bull crap. I can't give myself a little bit of extra juice. If I don't love me, who will, right? But yeah, so thank you. If you don't have the hype button as of yet, just go ahead and hit the regular old like button and subscribe and hit those little bell notifications so that we do go live like this. And by the way, again, I'll be hinting at it for the next 2.5 weeks or so. But you're going to be seeing a lot more live streams and stuff very soon. That's all I'll kind of say. Again, we're dropping little breadcrumbs along the way. You're going to be seeing more live streams soon. So be on board. And they're going to be more than just kind of TikTok trashes as well. I want to branch out. We've got ideas. All right. Let's get into it. TikTok Trash Tuesday. I go out to TikTok, get all those movie TikToks, and we talk about them. Let's get into it with our first one here. All right. Loads up. There we go. Let me put my little banners up and everything. Make it look fancy and professional. See, ooh, look at that. Beautiful. Not so much. I'm not going all the way
Always
back.
ask a man on a first date who his favorite movie director is, and I can help you analyze his response. This is based on 40 years of researching the men.
Oh, yes. So we've got, I think there's part 9. We've done 9 parts of this. I think we've covered at least 3 parts on the show. Let's see what Mandy's got for us this week.
So cry all you want to. If he says Paul Verhoeven, he will never understand you, but he will fear you and worship you, and that's enough. If he says Martin McDonough, he thinks the world is a bad place and that it's his girlfriend's job to prove to him that it's a good place, but you can't. If he says Brian De
You can't. That's the best stipulation. It's like, you don't try this, but you can't. That's not going to happen. Sorry.
Palma, he's like the opposite of a mansplainer in that he can't articulately describe anything, but he's very masculine. So if you're coming off of Chloe Zhao, he can be a good recalibrator. If he says Damien Chazelle, he's not a jock, but he's wired like a jock. So
that's true. I think even good old Damien Chazelle would probably agree with that statement. Yeah.
You don't have to crack the whip so hard because he's really hard on himself. If he says Taika Waititi, he likes neurodiverse girls who wear quirky socks.
True.
If he says Yorgos Lanthimos, he gets really embarrassed after a fresh haircut. And
I'm trying to really figure out what that means. Listen, if his favorite director is Yorgos Lanthimos, you might want to run. Like you can say that you like the guy, but if you put him in like your favorite category, I think we need to start having questions about you. Gasper knows another one that's like that. It's like, hey, your favorite, dear, you favorite like your comfort movie. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's one way to go about it.
he can barely leave the house for like 3 days. If he says Wong Kar-wai, he has a special Spotify playlist just for looking out the window and weeping. If he says Robert Zemeckis, his favorite songs are so standard that they play over the loudspeaker at Walgreens.
He's not my favorite, but he's up there, and yeah, that's true.
Where he went to buy you the box of tampons that you asked for and the pint of Chunky Monkey ice cream that you didn't have to ask for, because the way that he shows love is through service. And
just saying, just throwing it out there, You know what's nice though is when your service is actually at least acknowledges service at some point. That's what I've had a problem with in the past, I'll say that.
And acts of provision. If he says Terry Gilliam, that's the Monty Python guy. So you're just going to initiate standard womanly protocols around Monty Python. Never agree to watch the movies. Do not pretend to understand them or find them funny, no matter how much you like the man. And remember that we all agreed to this to protect womankind. And
it's true. It's true. And if you find one that does like it, be suspicious. Be very, very suspicious. All I'll say, ex-wife, big Monty Python fan. You tell me. You tell me.
And our daughters. Hope this was helpful.
It was. See, you're going to hear a lot of that bull crap. Protect your ears. The old, that's got to be CapCut. I don't know what the hell people use. I use DaVinci Resolve because I'm an adult.
Question for my millennial, my Gen X friend.
Now, this doesn't have to do with movies per se, but like maybe kind of in a tangential way and everything. I just thought we need to talk about this for half a second because I am this millennial that lived through this age and everything, and I just want to hear whatever the hell this man's going to say. And it was also part of my stand-up act at one point when I talked about how, and this really only worked in the days when Walmart was 24 hours, right? The idea is like, I go to Walmart at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's a completely different level of freak at 3 o'clock in the morning. During the day, it's like your regular old ladies or whatever. But at night, for whatever reason, it's just like some hunched lady, not a big hunch, slight hunch, flip flops and a Tweety Bird t-shirt. But it's not regular Tweety Bird. It's gangster Tweety Bird where he's all, decked out and everything like this guy. And for whatever reason, she's got like, his face is just covered in moles. Like a little, like looks like a wind could come by and rip it right off, So that was part of the act. I did it to tens of people.
Do you guys remember this weird period of time where like we had like hip hop Looney Tunes?
Yes, gangster Tweety Bird. That's what all of this is, dude. I feel like I saw one earlier this year on a student in like middle school, like a gangster Tweety Bird or something. It was like, it wasn't from this era, but it was akin to the era and everything. So it is 100% there. Absolute gangster Tweety Bird. Amongst other things, amongst like I said, look at this group. It's everybody, dude. For whatever reason, we were just like, we want this. But you know what? I was just thinking, because I thought about it and forgot about it and came back around. I saw on a giant pillar in a mall that's just there at a corner right beside a JC Penney, right? And on it there was a sticker, and I'm like, what is this sticker? And I could kind of make it out from a distance. I'm like, there's no way in hell. I got closer and closer and closer, and wouldn't you know it, it was a sticker about, about 2 inches by an inch of Black Bart Simpson. I laughed so hard I was just like, man, I haven't seen this since the 5th friggin' grade, dude. Unbelievable. It was so funny. And it was just like, just right out of nowhere in 2023, here's Black Bart Simpson in a sticker that's posted on a wall. It's amazing.
I feel like this was popular.
Yes, this specific little set right here, because you know what they're doing in this. I'm gonna say it before he even says it, because I'm a G. This is Criss Cross, right? So this is Bugs and Taz as Criss Cross, because as you can see, the clothes are all backwards, because inside out, it's wiggity, 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 whack.
Like mostly in the early 90s to mid 90s, kind of peaking in the Space Jam era. But like you can see the early 90s DNA in this. Like we got the backwards jerseys, the backwards hats, the backwards jeans. Very crisscross, very Bugs Bunny make you jump, jump. Tasmania make you jump, jump. And it was just so weird to see the DNA of the time, like really.
Oh my God! Like they would dress up in like different outfits and stuff like this. It's like, is this the Crips here? The Crips version of Looney Tunes? They're like, hey, the Crips and the Bloods each need their own outfits for Bugs and the gang. And like, do you think they had like disputes over who actually got to be in like a Crip or a Blood, or does everybody get a chance to be in all of them? Because they're also very popular in different ways.
Infused on a cartoon, because I feel like Disney tried to do this, but they didn't succeed. But like this, I know it's not Boys and Men, but it just gives me like a doing a little East Coast.
That's no, my friend. That's Belle Biv DeVoe.
Swing kind of vibe, and it lived on. Like the DNA.
Not the people that were singing the song. Those guys in the picture, not Boys to Men. They were Belle Biv DeVoe. That. I just wanted to clarify. See, thugged out Tweety. I'm telling you, that joke I wrote 15, maybe longer, years ago. My word.
Made its way. Like we had Thug Tweety Bird. Like this was clearly kind of later in the era. And then in the late 90s, like it moved on. Like it even caught kind of the Beanie Baby craze. This isn't a Beanie Baby, but it is a plushie. It is a Thug Tweety.
Yo, I had a big ass Tweety Bird when I was a kid, dude. Homie was like this, gigantic, and when you're a little tiny baby, like that's huge, son. That's huge. You look back at the picture and you're just like, this looks like a ripoff.
Bird plushie from the late 90s, which is crazy because I feel like at least where I was from in the late 90s, these were no longer cool. These were exclusively.
No, man. That you ain't gonna see that past 1995. Ain't no chance.
Worn by the crustiest, untrustiest dude.
Oh yeah. Now the Trailer Park Kids still wore it. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The Trailer Park Kids still wore the Bugs. Now they were a good contingent that were wearing them in the first place, mind you. But they continued to wear them post them not being cool anymore.
That was selling bags of oregano behind the Hollywood video, claiming they were something else. You know what I'm talking about? But this does feel like an absolute fever dream to me. I don't know if this was as popular where everybody else was, or if this was just kind of a me thing. But if you guys have any memories about...
Nah, bro, listen, unless he's also from the South. That's where, let me tell you, old South Carolina, we were replete. You can tell I'm from South Carolina because I use words like replete. They don't...
About this or any cool stories, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, next time I'm going to see...
Oh. His own video cut him off. That's rude.
He's the biggest piece of shit I've ever met in my life, and I've met some big
when you meet your heroes and they turn out to be horrible
pieces of shit.
Who's had that? Anybody have that experience where you just kind of go out, you meet a brand new, you meet one of your favorite characters, or you like not characters, but like you go to a convention and you go, oh man, I'm excited to meet XYZ. You meet them and they're an absolute letdown. I haven't had too many of those. Of course, I don't go out to get a lot of those autographs and stuff like that. I just think it's paying far too much money for a signature from someone. And it's like, I understand that your time is valuable. And, if you gave it away for free, you'd be there for the rest of your life, just auto penning away everything. And I get that. But I just can't justify, hey, give me $500 for my, signature that's just, it's not even, it's like someone, when they look at the signature, will have to say, who's the signature? Then that's why you put it on a picture of William Shatner, because otherwise you'd look at the signature, I don't know what the hell that is. But yeah, man, I haven't been the victim of this many times, but I do know many stories from the front lines, as it were. My ex-wife got a whole bunch of she was an autograph hound, though. She went around to all these kind of folks and whatnot. Tons of Star Wars people. She had great stories about a whole bunch of the different Star Trek people and all that kind of stuff. But then she went to go see Anthony Daniels, and Anthony Daniels was an absolute and utter garbage human being. Barely acknowledges your existence, that you're there, just takes your, rather large amount of money and then shuffles you on to the next one. It was just like, he just seemed very rude. And then I saw him, I saw Anthony Daniels kind of give a speech at like Star Wars Celebration 4. And boy, you want to talk about somebody that was up his own ass. I ain't never seen anybody think, it's like, bro, you were C-3PO. He's talking about himself like he's Olivier. It's amazing. In a bad way, amazing. But yeah, there's tons of jerks out there. Bruce had a story about old Flash Gordon there. What's his nuts? Oh, football player. I totally forget the guy's name. That's how much of a big Flash Gordon fan I was back in the day. He said that he was kind of a jerkwad dude. You know who's amazing? Steranko. Steranko is awesome.
In life and in a toilet.
All right, that's just fun.
I finally gave Skinamarink a watch.
Oh, my poor girl. Skinamarink was a movie that everyone was just like, hey, man, this new low budget film, Skinamarink, super scary. Check it out, everybody. You got, all the kind of requisite trailers and stuff going. A fever dream or some shit like that. But they're way overselling this whole thing. Look at all the quotes at the top of that thing. Look at all that. I can't read them, but people. Oof. Okay. The movie was terrible. It was absolutely atrocious. Tom Savini. Yep. There we go. Hold on. Tom Savini didn't even look up and was yelling at someone. That's another one. Actually. Now, I'm not going to say that every single person that I've heard of have a bad time with Tom Savini. That said, because I have heard some good ones. I heard like, oh my God, he was just like one of the best guys ever. But I also have very close friends who had him on a podcast and everything, and he was the rudest jerk in the world. It was really, really bad. So, and I've heard other people have really, really bad stories with Savini as well. So I think it depends on what day you end up catching them. Have I heard of the movie Hereditary? Absolutely. Love that movie. Need to get the giant director's 4K cut from A24, but it's too expensive. If they could send it to me, I'd love them to death. Smooch. Let's see what this poor girl had to deal with watching Skinamarink, because that is a turd.
And I liked the atmosphere component.
Okay, that's a nice way of saying the movie sucked, but go on.
But I didn't find this film to be scary at all.
No, because you're looking at carpet. You're looking at half out of focus carpet, listening to a television set in the background play public domain cartoons. Now, I've seen the Longmire video on TikTok there where he goes down and talks all about Skinamarink. And I'll be honest with you, it made me enjoy the movie a little bit more, but not so much so that I would tune into it for a second screening. Why don't you just shove me off a cliff? No.
It was boring to me.
Hell yeah, it was boring.
But the atmosphere was so expertly done.
It was creepy, like, I'll give you that, but it has that kind of like, just like really set some people off in a weird way. I don't like it. I don't care for it. It just makes me like, it granted, it gave you that feeling of being like, 6 years old or something like that in kind of in that darkened house. And, it gave you the vibe and whatnot. It just didn't do anything. It kept going and going, and it just felt like an artistic jerk off of Where's Waldo. It's like, what am I supposed to be looking at? What am I supposed to be getting out of this? And I got nothing.
I can't really call this movie like a bad movie. I remember when it
No, Skinamarink is not worth watching. It is horror, but like it's, seriously, put your cell phone on the ground, tape something, just like, like buy a stuffed animal or, something on the ground, turn the TV on, leave the TV on for about 5 minutes, throw that in there, and then just do that and a couple other things, place people in there, have people saying weird stuff, and boom, all of a sudden you're a hit movie on Shudder.
came out, there were people that were giving it high praise, and there were people that were shitting all over it.
That
As
was
someone
me.
who experiences nightmares and sleep paralysis quite often, I can
Man, stop being all paralyzed. Just get up, girl. You can do it. You got legs.
say that the atmosphere was nailed perfect.
I just thought of somebody have a sleep paralysis and need to be put into a wheelchair. This girl need to wake up.
The feeling of dread and waiting for something bad to happen.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And it's the equivalent of edging this movie. It's terrible. You're just like, something here we and nothing.
Not knowing what's going to happen.
You thought the end of Blair Witch was a letdown? Oh, baby.
Not knowing what's in your presence. The anxiety that people often experience with night terrors, the heart racing, the panic. Big fan of that. Otherwise, this film didn't do a lot for me, but the atmosphere was very good.
Look at her. She's a very smart young lady. Glad to hear it. It says what that review tells me is that she's a critical person. She's willing to see things, but at the same time, too, she ain't no dummy. She's not going to be fooled by this nonsense. Have you ever heard of Crossroads, the one Ralph Macchio is in? Well, I have news for you, my friend. We did an entire Mucho Ralph Macchio May this last May, and in there we covered Crossroads and every other major Ralph Macchio film. So why don't you do yourself a favor? Check out the old HMP archives just back to May, real not too awful long ago. Heck yeah. If you like lo-fi horror, things like Black Room, it's not too bad. My kids liked it. Black Rooms. Okay. Me, not so much, huh? I used to sleep paralysis twice. And you use a stereotypical, oh, it's a big, scary black figure walking toward me. Yeah, that's, no thank you for that. I've always had the just like, oh, what's that on the coat rack? That kind of thing.
And that's when I said,
She's back, everybody. What a hilarious video last week. I haven't watched this one. All I saw was the title. It's our same girl here. Funny. Let's see what we got. Female film bro. Expectation versus reality.
no, bro, I drink your milkshake.
Let me tell you something, though. This is not an impossible group of friends to have. Me and my buddies would go, this is a couple of years ago, just before pandemic times. We would go out and we would, I'll tell you about this at another time, but we went out and we would do a double feature VHS thing in the back of a video store where we'd watch a projection VHS tape and everything. And after that, we would go to the bar and we would talk about movies and stuff like that. And they would be these kinds of bullcrap conversations and stuff like that. So you can craft yourself a group of these friends. I will say that it's probably a lot more difficult to do it if you're a lady. But dudes, you want to hang out with dudes and talk movies? My God, there's a place and a couple of guys that'll definitely talk to you. And especially like if you're a good looking lady and you know some stuff about movies, woo, getting them up in the books, man.
And that's when I told him, no, bro, I drink your milkshake.
You know?
Like from the movie There Will Be Blood.
You know what I'm talking about?
Let's go to the movie.
That friend who goes to the movie theaters. Are you the friend that goes to the movie theaters? I go to the movie theaters quite regularly. I went one year about 140 times. Don't go quite that much these days, but, still a decent bit. Still several times a month.
Please. Nothing better than going to a movie theater. Shh, the Nicole Kidman ad's coming on.
Now, listen, I will tell you that the people that, get a little bit excited about the Nicole Kidman ad, y'all are, what's the word? Monsters. Monsters, yeah.
We come to this place for magic.
Can Nicole Kidman start aging, please? That'd be nice. I'm tired of her looking like, some kind of, shall we say, mail order device.
I love when they show the trailers and they give away the entire plot of the movie in the trailer. Popcorn, soda, and hot dogs only $100.
No, because we saw Call Me By Your Name in 40X, and literally, during the intimate scenes, you were, getting dry humped in this seat. Gotta get a
Yeah.
stinky hot dog that stinks up the whole theater.
Number one, how many people are eating hot dogs? Number two, they're gone in 5 seconds. So shut up. There's 3 bites to a hot dog and they're finished. What are you talking about?
I'm getting the pepperoni cheesy pretzel bites for $50. The cheesy pepperoni pretzel.
Listen, you're not gonna get me to say, boo, the prices are fine. So I got no argument there. His other things are a little different, but yeah, prices are far too high. I'll give you that. The stinkiness and whatever, that's subjective, I suppose.
Stink up the whole theater.
Gotta get the cheesy nachos.
I think this person just has a what we'll call maybe over hyper vigilance. I don't know.
They're only $80.
We come to AMC
Listen, brother, you can just tell us you're poor. It's okay.
theaters to laugh, to cry.
I'm an AMC Stubs member.
Once you're a stubby, you get access to all 40X movie times. 40X is the best.
You know what kind of sucks ass is that the AMC that's closest to me and everything, no special screens, none, not a one. So it's oh, you can do all the special things. Well, if you want to do that, you're going to need to drive another 25 minutes north. Or go by the Murder Mall, whichever you'd like to do.
Yes, 40X is so fun.
Yeah, they have the reclining chairs where a little table comes out. You go all the way back. They even have a bidet in it.
This guy's a little bit over the top. Listen, and I got complaints about movie theaters. You guys know that. I mean, having been a person that ran a movie theater, I understand. I empathize, sympathize.
Somehow, heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
Hey, do the movie dance. Hey.
Let's go see Avengers.
Who's doing the movie dance? That's you, dingus. What kind of bull?
Homecoming reunion grateful for Earth. Captain America Revenge on Titan. Superman The Dark Knight comes back.
The Joker, a whimsical musical 3.
Nothing better than going to a movie and spending all your money on a movie.
Because
Let me tell you something, ding dong. You may go through and talk shit about all these movies. You may talk about the bad prices. And here's the thing. All of these things might be true. But you know what else is true? Every now and then, you can have an experience in a movie theater that just changes your friggin' life, dude. That makes you go wow, I'm going to remember this one forever for a myriad amount of reasons. You miss every shot you don't take, I suppose. I mean, now, and listen, I promise you, I have worse luck at the movie theater than anybody else out there. You're not beating me. You're not going to, unless you're getting shot at or something, you're not, and actually, I wasn't shot at, but I did leave an AMC about a year ago, maybe a little less. And as I was walking out, I was looking at the people that were in the theater with me. I was like, that wasn't too bad, right? Yeah. Pop, pop, pop. And uh-oh. I'm and maybe we need to get back inside. Let's get back inside for a couple of minutes. So, I don't want things like that happening.
they are. AMC.
Yeah, you're over that's got to go. All right. My word. What's next? That was listen. He could have gotten his point across in about a fourth of the time. I don't pre-screen these, damn it.
Where it's like you just have to be in the mix, and you have to appreciate that they.
Tony Hawk breakdown skateboarding movies. 4. I guess is the fourth part of this. This is the only one that I've seen, but and I didn't even watch all of it. I was just like, oh, Tony Hawk talking about skateboarding movies. Let's go.
Got Rodney Mullen to stunt double Christian Slater. I mean, we all have to just sort of accept it because
so good. Rodney Mullen was just the best, dude. He is the best. Is the best. He's still with us.
He's a genius. All that rail stuff and that's pure Rodney Mullen. That's the signature stuff. I mean, all those things that he was doing, usually you would just do one at a time and then land on your board with all 4 wheels. He's snapping one into the other and landing on 2 wheels and keep.
Which makes you know that like there ain't no way that Christian Slater is doing this, and especially at this time, it's like there's one man and one man only who's doing all them tricks, and his name's Rodney Mullen, and he invented 95% of the tricks he's doing.
His wheels up and then going into another trick, like only from the mind of Rodney Mullen. That's why he's truly the godfather of modern street skating.
110%, dude. That in the amount of humble that Rodney Mullen is unbelievable. He's like a little shaman, man. He's just like, hey, whatever happens, it's nice that the world is doing this thing, and I whatever little bit that I gave to the world is. I'm like, dude, this guy's awesome.
And then all that stuff, we call that a pogo, and all this fancy footwork, like that's all straight from late 70s, early 80s, and even 360s. Like no one can do 360s these days. And then right there, he's on 1 wheel. Chuck Taylors were pretty standard for skaters, especially in the sort of early mid 80s. There weren't that many skate shoes available. Vans didn't really come on the scene until the early 80s. So I have plenty of footage in Chucks. And this is the Amazing Spider-Man, which I am honestly not familiar with.
Oh yeah, like I didn't like that. I didn't like that Peter Parker was doing like kick flips and stuff like that. I was just like, not the Peter Parker I know, boy.
Okay, not sure what was going on there. It looked like he was trying to ollie. He's regular foot there, and right there he was goofy footed. So he's definitely switching the stance up, which means we know there's more than one person stunt doubling him. That's a weird edit right there with the 360 on the ground, but he like tried to.
It's called the editor doesn't know shit about skateboarding. That's exactly what that amounts to. It's called these things that looks cool. That's neat looking. It's like, well, that wasn't the trick. You didn't really get that correct. Let's say, it looks good. Shut up.
Ollie, and he kept his foot on the board. You can see that his foot is attached to his board in an unnatural way. So definitely his back foot right there is stuck to the board somehow with something other than gravity. So that's a tell right there where it's like, all right, we're not in reality here. And that right there is a kickflip to fakie on a legit vert wall. Okay, super fake there. Real, super fake. How do you keep your feet on a skateboard when you do a backflip from a wall?
Hey, man, them's Back to the Future 2 rules, baby.
Wall. I've been skating a long time. I've seen a lot of stuff, but I know that's not real. I actually know the stuntman who did that, William Spencer. He must have had the skateboard attached to the shoes, and to go around and do.
You think, Tony? What do you figure? It was either that or magic.
A backflip and be confident enough and skilled enough to know that you actually are going to land on your feet is pretty awesome. Because that's risky. Like it's like imagine that you strap a snowboard to your feet and someone threw you in a backflip. You got to still land it, and that's what he did. But we know it's not real. Okay, there's another one where he does the back handspring. It's interesting where they choose to strap his feet to the board. Because if you think about it, his feet are stuck. He can't move them.
Well, he's also Spider-Man, so he can keep his feet to the board. Now, in that particular case, that's okay. I don't find any fault with that. That is 100% okay if they want to attach the board to Spider-Man's feet. Now, you don't attach to a regular person's feet. That doesn't make sense. Spider-Man's feet, though, yep, that's fine.
So they had to have like the perfect position of where his feet are, and I guess it works. Oh, forklift. So stationary manuals on forklifts, not really a skate thing, or handstands on forklifts. So I guess that's where we have to realize that he's Spider-Man.
Maybe you're just a shitty skateboarder, Tony Hawk. You're a vert man. What do you know about what's possible on some forklifts? Come on now.
Okay, hold it right there. I'm not saying no one could ollie that high, but
he's Spider-Man, man. He's Spider-Man now. You got to take into account he's Spider-Man and he's got superhuman powers, all right?
The way that he's holding the same position as he goes down, that's not the actual height that he jumped down. Because as you jump down something, you have to continually straighten your legs to keep your board on your feet. Like that's just how to sort of counteract gravity and friction. As you're going down, you're sort of keeping your board on your feet until you finally get to the ground, and then you compress. And so he's already just stuck in that position. So his board would be flying away from his feet probably halfway through that. And then when he lands,
I hate to be the guy that's like Spider-Man, kind of negates all of your problems there, Tony.
you would generally land and sort of wobble a bit because of the force you put on your board. And a lot of times that forces your wheel to rub on your board itself. And we call that wheel bite. So basically wheel bite is when you land and you land with such force that your wheel hits right here.
Come on now.
And that stops your motion. The way he lands, he's super solid. There's no...
Oh my God. Even they were just like, let's get him out of here.
It is borderline criminal activity that visionary director Paul Thomas Anderson only has one film included in the Criterion Collection.
I concur. Yeah. I mean, with amazing as his movies are and everything, it's weird that Punch Drunk Love is the one that's on. One of my lesser Paul Thomas Anderson films. Hadn't seen it in a while, though. Do need to see it again. But like seriously, why? Like, you know, Boogie Nights begging for one, The Master begging for one. Even Hard 8. Why is Hard 8 not in the Criterion Collection? Right? It seems like it would make sense. Why not? What's happening?
And now, standing on the precipice of his 10th film, One Battle After Another, I think we need to talk about what his inevitable and frankly long overdue second addition to the collection should be. And I'd be willing to bet
That's an easy one. That's an easy one. Obvious.
A lot of people would say There Will Be Blood, and they're not wrong, because first of all, every single PTA film belongs in the collection, to be honest. But There Will Be Blood is not my pick. I'm also not going to choose my favorite PTA film, which is The Master, for this, but rather I'm going to try to choose the film that I think is the most important for archiving film history, Phantom Thread. And really? It's a film about craft itself. Every frame feels like it was stitched with the same painstaking care Reynolds puts into his dresses. PTA uses cinema here the way Reynolds uses fabric, layering, shaping, refining until something timeless emerges. Daniel Day-Lewis delivers one of the most intoxicating performances in film history, but it's the union.
Listen, man, I enjoy that movie, but like, come on, man. The juice we got on this one. Wowee.
Of Johnny Greenwood's score and the meticulous cinematography that elevates it into something worth archiving. Phantom Thread is a reminder of what...
Yeah, you say archiving here and everything, but the movie's not that damn old. Like, let's go back and make sure that we can get nice restorations and good, film scans of these movies ahead of time, especially things like The Master and stuff like that. And There Will Be Blood, where, I think There Will Be Blood, but certainly The Master, where you're rolling in 70 millimeter, man. Archive that stuff, because that's going to be the stuff that, it's just, get your priorities in order.
What cinema can do at its most refined, capturing the beauty of detail, the tension.
I don't know. Like, listen, it sounds like he's full of shit. It feels like he's saying the things that he thinks he needs to say about this movie. Like, the movie's fine. I like it. And and it's like, there's arguments to be had for it. But like, the way he's describing it just makes me feel like he's not sincere or something. I don't know. There's something about it that ain't right to me.
Of creation.
It ain't right, I says.
And the madness that often fuels art. And I'm planning on rewatching it this weekend with a friend who's never seen it before, so I'm sure I'll have an update about how I think it holds up in the coming week. But right now, I want to hear...
It'd be hilarious if he was just like, that Daniel Day-Lewis is trash. He just all of a sudden just goes like, we had a couple to drink tonight before we headed out to the movies and everything. So maybe I was wrong.
Your choice for a new PTA work in the Criterion Collection. And as always, follow for more.
Listen, can we get a Medea in the Criterion Collection? This is what I'm asking. By the way, everybody, that was a joke, obviously, but you know what ain't a joke? The December Criterion Collection announcement have dropped, and they're bringing out Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Let's go. Pee-wee's Big Adventure in December. Merry Christmas to one and all, baby. Oh, man. The artwork's a little bit goofy and crazy, but I'm all right with it, man. A Pee-wee's Big Adventure in 4K. Mwah, give it to me, baby. And it looks like it's going to have some good special features and stuff. I am stoked.
Why is the Xenomorph's head shaped like a man's you-know-what?
Because H.R. Giger was a dirty, dirty little man. He's a dirty little fella, that H.R. Giger. Ladies and gentlemen, when I think of the alien, the things that I think of, the monsters that are in my head, they swim around in a vortex of darkness. And in this darkness, it drives me insane. So the only way to get rid of the darkness is to take peyote. And that was what he would do. He would do that. He would go through and he would take drugs in order to, according to him, get all the visions out of his head. And that's exactly how he talks. You don't think so? Go watch all those alien documentaries. It's 100% what he did.
Black goo has reconfigured and relocated one's reproductive drive to its cranium. Entire physiology
He's got his dick in his head, huh?
is bent towards one biological goal: to replicate at all costs. Xenomorph isn't choosing to breed, it literally has nothing else on the brain. It's obsessed with spreading its seed,
Too many inappropriate jokes. All right, here we go.
relentlessly fixating on impregnating, making it the embodiment of toxic masculinity in monstrous form. H.R. Giger's phallic designs were chosen to line up with the film's subtext about giving men the fear of reproductive violation. Dan O'Bannon, the screenwriter of Alien, said, and I quote, "I'm not going after the women in the audience, I'm going to attack the men. I'm going to put in every image I can think of to make the men in the audience."
See, here's the thing. I've got some problems with all of these takes. Because everybody's got, and you can watch them. You can watch all of these alien documentaries. There are bare minimum 5 hours worth of documentaries on the first movie alone. There's so much good stuff out there. And everybody has slightly differing stories. And I think there is a lot of history writing after the fact, I would call it.
Cross their legs. Essentially, Alien was a diss track on 1970s cinema written by a starch feminist who was fed up seeing women's bodies being used as a conduit to depict horror.
See, I don't, that's bullshit. That's bullshit, because all of the characters in Alien were written as nothing, as no one, as just that it was a name. That was it. There were no descriptions of anyone. That was kind of what was kind of funny to them. Is they're like, well, we don't have necessarily hair, but that has been revisionist history. And I'm sorry that Dan's not here anymore and can't defend himself. But that's bullshit. That's bullshit. They changed all the characters' names. They were trying to get credit away from Dan and Ron. Again, and he's very well researched on stuff. So this is like maybe like I said, you can't, I guess he's pulling quotes from Dan O'Bannon, but Dan O'Bannon said otherwise and stuff too. So it's not like, I mean, we can find stuff of his own words to contradict himself.
He viewed it as both played out and lazy. That's why the creature unnerves us. It resonates with us on a harrowing subconscious level.
And by the way, no one talks about it, but Ron was the one who came up with the aliens impregnating you. Ron's the one that did that. He had a dream. I'm pretty sure it was Ron. I'm almost 95% sure.
Weaponizing our own biology against us. O'Bannon was a man who was simply ahead of his time, and with H.R. Giger's artwork and Ridley Scott's filmmaking, the three together created the most iconic.
Again, we're ignoring another one of the writers. That's a damn shame and a half. Okay.
Monster in cinema history. That is all for today, and yes, this will be on the exam.
Now, guess what? The exam, like sometimes in school, the exam can be wrong. I was talking about the Pee-wee Criterion release with a buddy of mine at the local comic shop today. The discussion was whether or not Pee-wee's Big Adventure was art house comedy. Here's the thing. I'll always talk about this. Well, number one, it's the first film from a very prolific filmmaker and stuff like that that really set the tone for who and what Tim Burton's film career would be, certainly for the preceding 20 years. And I think that certainly is worth documenting and kind of, keeping in the collection, so to speak. Yeah. Listen, seminal movie for me. I mean, it was the first movie that I remember seeing in a movie theater. It was a re-release, but that was one they brought us to see, and boy, oh boy, do I ever remember that, man. From Large Marge to the putting on his night vision goggles there and everything, and of course it just and then all the animals and stuff that were there. Loved it, man.
Hey, you like movies, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
How about animated films?
Yeah.
Yes, some of my favorite movies are animated. How would you like to see a new one? I would very much like to see a new one. Okay, good, because we're making one.
Oh.
Awesome. Who's in the voice cast? One of the best voice actors in the world.
Okay.
Rob Paulson? No.
Rob Paulson. Rob Paulson's like, ooh, thanks. A good mention right there.
Billy West.
Oh, I see where we're going with this. I see where we're going with this.
No. Maurice LaMarche. No.
Yeah. Listen, homie's just naming everybody that was on Animaniacs, anybody that was in that Tiny Toon Adventures block.
John DiMaggio. No.
Told you.
Hank Azaria? No.
Gotta do Simpsons too.
Tress McNeil? No. Pamela Adlon? No.
Art Conner.
Frank Welker? No. April Winchell? No. Cree Summer? No. Alex Borstein?
Alex Borstein's been in enough things live action. She could count.
It's a guy. Jim Cummings? He's bald. Kevin Michael Richardson? No. Dan?
Oh. It's J.K. Simmons.
Castellaneta? No. Is it Dwayne Johnson? Yes. Stop it.
Damn it. Oh, that's a ruiner for everybody, man. An animated movie starring The Rock. What do you think he's gonna be like in the animated thing? Is he gonna be like The Rock, maybe? What's next?
What's cool about working on a period film is that it's like going back in time with the old cars, the set decoration, costumes, and the props. But when the director yells cut and the extras start pulling the technology out of their pockets and purses, it brings you back to reality because you
there goes gravity.
See that everything's phony.
Get it? Phony. He does dad jokes.
We had a last-minute scene in a TV show where I had about 24 hours to come up with a barrel full of thousands of blue pills. I couldn't find round blue pills by the thousands, so I got 10,000 ibuprofen, and we spray painted them. I soon discovered...
Oh, you don't want to eat those afterwards if you got a headache. The ibuprofen be fine, but man, you got to get through that layer of spray paint. That ain't delicious.
That wasn't going to be enough, and I realized we were going to have to paint another 10,000. It was a bitter pill to swallow.
Now, you had to have the whole thing full. You couldn't cheat it halfways or even like a fourth of the ways. That's what I would have thought to do.
These guys are filming a head hitting a rock. They're just going to run it in reverse. Here's the finished product. You could also use a foam rubber rock to cushion the blow. There's several ways to do it. You just got to use your head.
Get it? Oh, and then throw in the good juicy sound effects too.
I got a last minute request.
I had to turn this down. Your video went straight to hell, and I still turned it down. It's still overmodulated. Good Lord have mercy.
For fake rats to be used in conjunction with visual effects and real rats in a scene that we're going to be shooting soon. So I bought...
Oh, they're making Willard 3, everybody.
Some toy rats off of Amazon and then brought them to the paint department where they sprayed them and added some details and worked on the eyeballs. And there you have it. Some good looking fake rats. Can't wait to show my wife. She's going to freak out.
His wife divorced him promptly. All right, what do we got?
Please don't brag. Only
Mr. T's here with a message for us, everybody.
fools brag. Bragging just shows you can shoot off your big mouth. If you're great, people will know it. You don't have to tell them anything. Just like I don't have to tell you. Understand? The name is Mr. T.
Yeah. I don't have to tell you how great I am. You're just going to know it. Hit that like and subscribe button. Otherwise, we're going to your house and tickling you.
Every millennial has a deep emotional connection to at least 5 movies on this.
All righty. Elder millennial here. Let's see how it acts up. He looks younger than me. So I'm assuming, well, let's see what we got.
This list. Matilda, The Lion.
Matilda. I do like that movie. I don't hold it in as high as regard as, say, like my sister does, who's about 4 years younger than me. So that's fine. What do you say? The Lion King. I like The Lion King. Saw it in theaters and everything. It was what, 1994. So I'm like, what, 12? So it's good, but like, listen, we all love the soundtrack. Soundtrack's amazing.
King. Space Jam.
Space Jam is an overrated piece of shit. I said it. Space Jam is garbage. Space Jam is the movie that millennials love for whatever stupid reason, but they can't bring themselves to the fact that Space Jam is an utter piece of garbage. The voice acting from all the animated characters are bad. Michael Jordan couldn't act his way out of a paper bag. It's the worst ever when your thespian is Wayne Knight. You know what I'm saying? It's atrocious. Bill Murray is just like sleepwalking through that movie. Space Jam is utter trash. And if you liked Space Jam, you're telling me that you are a baby millennial and not an elder millennial. Because an elder millennial, and even some elder millennials, y'all are stupid. Y'all are stupid and brainwashed into thinking that movie's good. That movie's trash, son. And guess what? The other one with LeBron, I ain't even seen it, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't say things about movies I hadn't seen, but I'm gonna tell you this. I know that movie's trash.
The Sandlot. Clueless.
Sandlot, yes, I will give you 110% The Sandlot for sure. Clueless, not me. I wasn't a girl, so that movie, listen, I like looking at Alicia Silverstone as much as the next man, but the movie didn't hit the soul or anything else like that. I was a little small kid from South Carolina. What the fuck do I know about kids growing up in the valley or something?
10 Things I Hate About You.
A great movie, but again, it's like,
Star Wars prequel.
No, listen, no.
Legally Blonde. White Chicks.
Legally Blonde is good. White Chicks is terrible. If you watch White Chicks and you enjoy White Chicks, stop watching this channel right now. We don't know that we need you here. Or if you do, just justify it. Justify it. Justify why watching White Chicks is good. I want to hear them. I want to hear the excuses. Is it because you like looking at men that look like aliens, alien ladies that are going through people find us attractive? Do they though? Do they? You'd be like, what in the hell?
Step Brothers, Zoolander, Donnie
motherfuckers just naming off movies at this point, yeah?
Darko, Juno, Eternal Sunshine.
Juno sucks. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, just rewatched it in 4K. Still very, very good. I am getting over some of it, which is good. I think that shows a little growth for me as a person.
The Spotless Mind, 500 Days of Summer, Scott Pilgrim.
And this motherfucker is just saying movies that he watched when he was like 19 or some shit. I don't know.
Versus the World and Shrek.
Fuck Shrek. Listen, I like Shrek, but Shrek's got to the point where it's just too much, man. Y'all are too much on Shrek. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It just seems like brain dead people stuff, man. And many people who love Space Jam never have seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Isn't that a shame? Now you want the animated live action crossover? Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That's your answer right there. Come on now. Space Jam. Get the hell out of here with that. Mickey and Bugs in Roger Rabbit together, man. Like, never before and never since. They had to have the exact same screen time under contract.
How much eye do we need? Like, I don't see more when I open mine.
Did I just pick one that's like a little bit racist? Did I maybe I just put this one in here for explaining this? I don't know.
Thank you for saying that out loud. I just people think that I see things. Yeah, what do you see? Dude, Letterboxd. Like, do you see?
Oh, that's why I got Letterboxd. I was like, how is this movie related? He mentioned Letterboxd, and I was like, I stopped it right there. I don't know if it goes any further. But that's just like, oh, movie related, and it's got fun racism in it. Why not?
Like, I'm a Criterion Collection movie guy. You know what I mean? No,
we are IMAX, and you're.
I'm trying to. You're not
open mat framing.
Not IMAX, dude. You're not IMAX. Dude, you don't see IMAX.
That's good. Took Schultz there half a second to catch the joke, huh?
This 1977 Star Wars Style A one-sheet has significantly yellowed over the last 48 years.
I followed this lady on my first TikTok account before I got banned for saying too many things to people that are true. You know how it is. People don't like to hear the truth. But I just followed her again after seeing this video pop up. She does these amazing restorations and stuff. Let's check it out.
Most likely due to acidic paper stock combined with long-term storage in non-archival conditions. Movie posters, like most ephemera, were never meant to last. They were printed as bright, eye-catching advertisements, used, displayed, and often discarded. Over time, as these posters became sought-after collectibles, they naturally age and discolor. The rate of deterioration depends on how they were stored, where they were displayed, how they were displayed, and the conditions they were exposed to. So we are going to clean and linen back this iconic poster. The goal is to remove impurities in the paper and reduce the acid discoloration as much as possible. This process will also...
Does this give anybody else the heebie-jeebies just putting all the water and stuff on it? Because that's what it does to me. I'm just like, doesn't water ruin paper, man?
Also flatten the paper to reduce distortions, such as folds, creases, and waviness. We start by washing the poster with filtered water.
Which, by the way, keep this in mind, everybody. If you see an original Star Wars poster or one that claims to be an original Star Wars poster and does not have creases in it, you are not looking at an original Star Wars poster. As back in 1977, they were not rolling these posters. They were sending them to the theaters folded. So any ones that you see in this era, really up until, frankly, the 90s almost, were pretty much all folded. I say pretty much. You know, I'm hedging some bets here, but
water and a mild detergent. This relaxes the paper fibers and removes surface dirt and other impurities. Some acidity is also removed during the
it removes all of the special features crap. You know what I'm talking about.
Process. Mylar film is used to safely handle the poster while it's wet.
Crazy.
A bleaching agent is then applied to further remove acidity. Acid will break down the chemical compounds in paper, causing it to become...
All I can imagine is her just doing one thing and it's just going... And it looks like a just giant mud squash going right across the thing. Uh-oh. And then she's got to redo it, but she sucks ass at painting. So it's all jacked up.
Brittle and turn yellow or brown over time. Removing the acid discoloration will lighten the paper color, making the pigments appear brighter and closer to the artist's original.
You know, it already looks brighter than it was previously and stuff because it definitely had a much... It was dirty. It was gross.
Design.
Oh, just like, how does it not just like... Oh, how does it not just disappear on you? I would do it and it would fall apart like toilet paper.
Once the cleaning process is complete, a reversible acid-free adhesive is applied to the back of the poster.
See, now I never knew that they were reversible things like that. Like you could just take it off or whatever. That's
poster. The piece is then mounted to a stretched canvas frame lined with acid-free barrier paper. These materials will help slow down the aging process. The mylar is carefully removed and the poster is left to dry for several days. Once fully dry, the poster is cut from the frame and a 1-inch linen margin is trimmed around the edges. It's exciting to see how just a simple cleaning and linen backing can make such a dramatic transformation. Not all the posters we work on have restoration performed to fix cosmetic issues. We work with each client to discuss treatment options.
Oh, yeah.
Some prefer a minimal intervention while others want their piece fully restored. Our role is to stabilize and present the poster in a way that best achieves the owner's vision. Projects like this remind us that conservation alone can breathe new life into a poster,
Oh yeah, that is awesome looking.
preserving both its art and its history for future generations.
very important that these things happen, dude. I am so excited that we see stuff like this where people are taking the time to restore these things. And like she said, these are things that were never like really meant to be kept and whatnot. Whereas we have so many different I'm sorry, I got distracted by that. We got anyways, let's move on. Jesus Christ. Sorry about all that. What next?
So apparently
Oh boy, we got old producer Patrick coming back in for us. What you got, Patrick?
Paramount now wants to put in a bid for Warner Brothers.
More giant companies. Who's excited, everybody? Yay. Yay. More giant conglomerates. Didn't everybody just buy everybody and then all that turned out to be bullcrap? Didn't Warner Brothers just buy Discovery and then they were like, oh shit, sorry about that. And then they sold that off and now Paramount's like, hello, we'd like to take you over, Warner Brothers. Listen, I don't know that any of these things making your companies bigger is not the thing that's going to save your companies, gang.
I've been traveling all day. I just got to the hotel. And
look at him, the poor guy. He's been through it, man. He's normally happy and chippy and all this kind of good stuff. Producer Patrick's had it, dude.
In South Africa, I am beat. But hey, let's get into it. What on earth could this mean? This would be a massive merger, and it would consolidate a lot of media under one person, and that would be the Ellison family. And this could totally reshape the balance of power in the entertainment industry, in terms of streaming wars, in terms of a library of content.
And Annapurna's about to get back on the map, boys!
Content in terms of competitiveness between studios. But just remember, nothing has officially been announced yet, so there's no formal bid. I feel bad for Warner Brothers because they literally just changed the name HBO Max, so they would have to rebrand again. But it's hard.
They better not. They better not. They better keep on HBO Max. They better not bullcrap anything else up. You already screwed up, man. And
not to think that this won't come with antitrust or regulatory scrutiny, but then again, regulation feels like it's been thrown out the door lately. Apparently,
no, that's 100% true. It has been for ever and a day.
All it takes is a little cash to slip to the bouncer these days, and that's no problem anymore.
It's really not these days. It's been like that for 30 years at this point. All y'all got to do is grease palms out there.
More. And you know, Warner Brothers has massive debt attached to it. There's going to be a lot of costs associated with that. I think I'm most interested to see how the entertainment industry is going to react to this. I mean, strictly from the creative perspective, this is going to bring up concerns about monopoly power. There's already less work to begin with, and this would actually create fewer options for production workers, and in turn, there would be less creative diversity. So
who cares? There's no diversity of creativity now anyhow. There's like 5 people that do interesting things and everybody else is just,
we'll just kind of wait and see. But as always, I'm really going to love to hear your thoughts on this one.
Man.
I'll wake up and read them.
Get some sleep, Patrick. My God.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to go to the movies by myself.
Yes. Yes, you've heard us talk about it on this channel many a time. Go to the movies by yourself. Save yourself some money. Save yourself some hassle. No one else is looking at you. Are you so up your own ass that you think everyone out there is looking at you? You of all people? They ain't looking at you. You ain't special. You ain't nothing. You barely enough to look at for more than 15 seconds without getting a little, you know what I'm talking about? Ain't nobody looking at your ass. Just get your popcorn and go watch the movie, you big old baby.
It should be so peaceful. I ain't got to worry about nobody complaining about the movie. They want to do all this extra shit. It should be so peaceful.
My boy is on point. Correctamundo. What's next?
Just me, or do you prefer matinees over a late night screen? Just getting.
All right. Thoughts in the chat. Night movie versus day movie. Would you rather go to a daytime movie than an evening movie? Now, there are many chances to be had. I think you can go down this on a whole bunch of different angles. For me, I would say overall, I would prefer to go to the movies during the day because there are less people there, and you are lowering then the odds of you being in a theater with a bunch of chuckleheads. That said, you are not immune to chuckleheads during the middle of the day. Sometimes that's where they congregate because they got nothing else better to do. But sometimes evening is nice because if you've got a little bit of a crowd and you're watching like a horror movie or a comedy or something like that, and it's really, really kicking, it's good stuff. When I watched the new Naked Gun movie, nice, pretty decent sized audience there and everything. It was about, I don't know what time it was, but there was enough people there, man. Sometimes you can get that in the evening. So let's see what this gentleman's got to say.
Old, but I would prefer to watch a movie during the daytime than when I'm about to fall asleep. I would even do the Bong Joon-ho method, which is watch a movie before you start your day. So I can't be the only one that feels this way.
Ooh, before I start my day, that might be a little much.
Where you prefer movies in the day versus at night.
I'll go day over night, I think, but like morning, I gotta be in a mood for that. I guess the only time that I really I started something specifically in the morning was when we did the Star Wars 7 movies in a row marathon in the theater. I think the first movie started at 4 a.m., I think, in order to hit like the 11 p.m. quote midnight show for the 7 Star Wars and everything. 7 Star Wars in a row, everybody. That was huge.
Cool Cat.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Some chats here. You get bigger and more plentiful jerks in the evening, I think. That is 110% correct. And Alex says, depends upon the movie, horror movie, late night. Most other movies, matinee. Absolutely correct. And even then, sometimes in horror movies, you can kind of get lucky if you get a little crowd, but you never know with that. So,
Saves the Kids is the great.
Oh my God, yes. Who has seen Cool Cat? Has anybody seen this movie? This movie is like falling down a sea of sadness. You've got Eric Estrada. You've got what's her name? I'm trying to Vivica Fox. There's one more. There's one more friggin' person in this. It is utterly amazing. They did a riff tracks on this Cool Cats thing. He's a big giant cat who raps. Let's see what he's gonna say.
This film ever made. Although calling it a film is giving it way too much.
Cool Cat makes Neil Breen look like Tony Scott.
Credit. It is better described as a Frankenstein's monster hodgepodge of 3 previously released short films, which is why the plot suddenly goes from Cool Cat in a parade to Cool Cat yelling at a bully with
You know what? That makes a little bit more sense because the story does kind of jump all over the place, and you're just like, what the hell are we doing here now? Why does Cool Cat live at home? You got Cool Cat's mom in the mix and stuff like that. You're like, what? I'm telling you, bro, the family's weird. And here comes Eric Estrada and Vivica Fox.
Celebrity guests to Cool Cat improperly teaching gun safety. This true marvel in the field of artistic expression.
And the little fat kid that's a bully. If memory serves, he can barely read the damn kid. So like it's a lot of that kind of vibe.
Could only come from the tortured mind of one. Derek Savage, a man so dedicated to his craft that in the 10 years since the film,
there's a point in Cool Cat where Derek here is doing some karate up against like one of these karate dummy dealies and everything. And I think within that same scene, or maybe it's an adjacent scene, he's also like got like a samurai sword and he's chopping at it and stuff like that. This is a children's movie. Why he chopping up shit, I don't even know.
Release, he still has not caught on to the joke. There is
Don't forget the A in Vivica A. Fox. I will never kowtow to that A shit. She can get out of here with that. She only came up with that one later.
Genuine good faith in Cool Cat saves.
Why is he playing
the kids, but it is marred by poor production and
Whoa! I will not have you All right, that's true.
Improper morals. Yes, Cool Cat. Encourage children to open unsolicited text messages from strangers. Run out into the street without looking both ways. And if you see your bully outside your school holding a gun, you should go inside the school. These bad morals have been remedied in the film's many recuts, as if the film itself being a compilation wasn't enough.
Yeah. I didn't know it was re-edited and stuff like that. They do some questionable things with guns. I'll be honest with you. In a thing that's supposed to be about the safety of guns, it feels like you're doing the opposite.
The version of Cool Cat Saves the Kids that is readily available on YouTube and Tubi is in fact the 4th version of the film, which includes filler scenes from a failed pilot where Cool Cat does home repairs and completely redubs Cool Cat's lines with Derek Savage himself.
Oh my God, I want to watch it now. Shit.
The reason behind this change is a story in of itself and is telling of how you should treat these versions.
That's the fat bully kid. That's the fat bully kid. He's always talking like this. It's one of those things where you're really starting to wonder if this is the kid's real voice or something they learned to put on in kid acting school.
As if you were reading Sonichu, these changes only make sense if you have a deep knowledge of Derek Savage.
Did motherfucker just say Sonichu? Oh, God help us all.
And his life. And just like Sonichu, the Cool Cat
Oh
franchise
my God, he 110% did. Oh my God, this man is a degenerate.
Be used as a vessel to peer into the life of a tortured mind. I am not going to stand here and say that this is a bad film and you should not watch it. In fact, the opposite. This is
No, you probably should. That parade is weird. You do wonder why you're in this parade. You're like, huh? All of a sudden, Cool Cat's in a parade. Aren't you just like some neighborhood cat? And you're like, I don't know.
It's a bad film and you absolutely need to watch it. Derek Savage is a gift that keeps on giving, and Cool Cat is a train wreck
Derek Savage is like Neil Breen with a little bit of a budget.
You cannot look away from. Derek Savage has joined the likes of James Wynn, Tommy Wiseau, and Neil Breen as creators who have transcended the term bad and have become
Man, old Neil Breen and all those laptops. That's my favorite running Neil Breen gag is all the laptops that are turned off, by the way. Ain't a single one of them laptops ever got a battery in it. I feel like half of those got to be fake laptops that you see there at IKEA sitting on desks and stuff like that. I bet most of them are like that.
Truly great. I wish him nothing but the best in his next creative venture.
Cool Cat 2, go to the beach.
Except maybe that one. Great stuff. Thumbs up. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
If you grew up watching action films in the 80s and 90s like I did, you definitely know who writer-director Shane Black is.
Of course we do. And an occasional actor.
But if this name isn't familiar to you, stick around. I guarantee you there's things he's done that you've definitely seen. With his first directorial feature in 7 years...
I'm Shane Black, y'all. I'm Shane Black, y'all. I'm Shane Black and I'm Black.
Play Dirty, hitting Amazon Prime on October 1st. In the spirit of what I do, let's do a retrospective. Shane Black was not only a script doctor on Predator, but even had a small supporting role as the character of Hawkins. But his big break would occur when he penned the script for Lethal Weapon. It would not only become an action movie classic, it would open the door for...
I wonder if he wrote the Three Stooges bit, or is that just Mel just going... Time to do a scene, baby.
For him to become the master of the buddy action film and even introduce a common trope in his work, gritty, often brutal action movies that happen to be set during Christmas. Co-wrote The Monster Squad, a great horror comedy that over...
Can I say something? This is a little controversial. Monster Squad? At the very least, overrated. If not even all that good. I say it.
The last 4 decades,
Fright Night's better than Monster Squad. Fight me on it.
Has continued to develop a dedicated cult following. His last involvement with the Lethal Weapon franchise would be coming up with the story for Lethal Weapon 2, although to this day he's very much credited as the creator of this franchise. But the banger buddy action films would continue. The Last Boy Scout is excellent, and it's a notable film from the late great action filmmaker Tony Scott. Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans are great in this together. I feel like Last Action Hero is unjustly underrated.
You know, I never really saw Last Action Hero, and it's a little bit difficult to find, quite frankly. I would like to, because I remember just, you know, the vibe when it was coming out and everything, and it got poo-pooed a whole bunch. I've heard a lot of people retro on it and be like, oh no, but that's a really good one. I don't know.
Sure, it's goofy and silly, but it's a satire on Arnold action films, one that is very self-aware. I think it's a great high-octane action comedy, and I love the
A high-octane comedy.
It's really sad how one of the most solid action films he ever wrote, The Long Kiss Goodnight, was left to fail without mercy by its distribution studio. I mean, yeah, its director pretty much made a flop that put a studio out of business the year prior. But seriously, Gina Davis carries this as an action star so well. Sam Jackson is also amazing in this as her co-star. And there are action sequences in this film that are captivating. It deserved a better chance. For 9 years, Shane Black came up with a lot of ideas that could
Is that his microphones in front of him? Is that how big is that damn thing?
never get off the ground. But in 2005, he would have a big comeback, also as a filmmaker with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. This, to me, is Robert Downey Jr.'s official comeback, because he's great in this neo-noir comedy thriller. And he would actually repay the favor to Shane Black by helping him score the directing gig for Iron Man 3. I don't care what anyone says, this is a great Iron Man movie.
Iron Man 3 is good. It's way better than 2.
And a solid MCU installment. And of course,
Great.
The Nice Guys came
Also
around.
very good.
A film that is so nostalgic to classic buddy action comedies, but also so marketable to modern audiences. And modern audiences ate it up. And it further proved that Shane Black can get any two actors into a film of
And it was so nice to see Russell Crowe really jump back and this was kind of like the start of that new wave for Crowe.
this type, and they will deliver impeccable chemistry. Sadly, even though it was a full circle moment on his resume,
that one
Shane Black
sucked.
did script doctor and star in the first film, The Predator turned out to be a big disappointment. It would put a further dent into an already
Oh man, Jacob Tremblay going around like the autistic predator or whatever he was doing. What was that movie about? The only thing that was cool about that was like when he got outside of the ship and then like he was staying inside this force field outside of the ship, which I was like, how the fuck? Okay.
struggling franchise that would thankfully get a big resurgence in 2022 with Prey. And just in case you're curious, these are all movies he wrote initial scripts
Oh boy, poor guy wrote Hobbs and Shaw
for and tried to get off the ground but couldn't succeed doing so. And yes, some of them were eventually realized by other creatives.
One of the all-time greatest fictional characters is right here.
Dana Scully. All right, Jason, what do we got this week for us?
Agent Dana Scully from the show The X-Files, and I know what some of you are going to say. Do you have to exaggerate every opinion? I mean, calling her one of the all-time great fictional characters when she was on a goofy TV show?
First and foremost, The X-Files was not a goofy television show by any stretch of the imagination. Were there a couple of jokes here and there? Sure. Maybe some lone gunmen or like give a little ha-has here and there. But by and large, that is in no way, shape, or form a lighthearted comedy of a show. Get out of here, dog.
Like The X-Files is schlock. It's about a couple of FBI agents who chase aliens and monsters. But the
schlock nothing. Those episodes are good.
The character is great because the show is schlock. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's a phenomenon called the Scully effect, which is that a whole bunch of women went into STEM because they were inspired by this character.
I could absolutely see that. Listen, she was smart. She was beautiful. Like, she didn't take no crap from people. But like when confronted with things and stuff as well, she was always willing to, kind of open her eyes and stuff and be receptive to things that might be in the X-Files, of which she, came in as a very much non-believer and stuff. So that was kind of what was great about Scully. It was like you have Mulder, who's the guy who's all in. Scully is the person who's like, oh, I'm not quite sure about all this. And then your job is ultimately to continue to try to, win over the skeptic and stuff. And that's why I'm sure a lot of ladies look to that and just go like, oh, this is a lady who don't take no guff. She is indeed Mulder's equal. In fact, one could probably even say that she's kind of even his superior in a sense, because she was sent down to go spy on him and what he was doing with the X-Files and everything. So, yeah.
For you younger people out there, in the 90s, The X-Files was an absolute phenomenon. And the casting of Gillian Anderson at the time was apparently controversial, because the network apparently wanted a blonde bombshell type. But creator Chris Carter stood by the energy she...
But not only energy, but like, man, you want to talk about a fine wine, Gillian Anderson, but man, oh man, just like, she was the perfect candidate for that role.
Brought to the role. And I'm telling you that prior to this point, female characters like this were rare on TV. Somebody who is smart and strong and skeptical. And also the way they wrote her relationship with Agent Mulder was groundbreaking, because the creator was very intent on them not being a romantic pairing, even though the fandom very much wanted that. The show,
yeah, and like, because they had good chemistry and stuff like that, and like it had that kind of that give and take that you have with a lot of relationships and stuff like that, where the guy is a little bit more fanciful, but the lady's a little bit more of that kind of like, hey, let's rein it in and be realistic and stuff like that. And she did such a great job, kind of a foil to his, everything's a conspiracy kind of guy.
Didn't sexualize her or constantly make excuses for her to be taking off her clothes. She was a studious, buttoned-down professional, and yet an entire nation watched this and said, you know what? This is the hottest anyone has ever looked. And the show never made her stop being feminine. Sometimes
Exactly. They never tried to make her a man. That is absolutely correct. Something that you don't think about. But like, yeah, they didn't try to make her one of the boys. She was still very much a lady, and had, feminine stuff to her, but she was never overly feminine. Like you said, that kind of blonde bombshell. She wasn't that, but she was never just like, a butchy one of the dudes or something like that. That's correct.
Writers back then, when they would try to write a strong woman, would just write a man.
Yep.
But as it was, it's no surprise that so many young women...
And she had emotions and stuff like that. Like, what a really well-written character throughout all of the years, man.
...wanted to be like her. And that's why I say that it actually helps that this happened on a very...
That hair is not the hair that you want to go with, but okay.
...silly TV show, because it was a show for everybody. It was not a show where you would expect to find a character like this. So yeah, to some degree, this character on this goofy TV show kind of changed the world.
Yes, though Gillian Anderson she does look pretty good as a blonde. She's doing that in her later years here and everything. Absolutely. Well, that is it, everybody. We got another TikTok Trash Tuesday in the books here. Again, I thought I wouldn't have too many things to do, and we're at about a requisite hour and a half for this bad boy. I didn't go on too long. I tried to rein it in on some of the topics and stuff like that, and I appreciate all of you out there. And again, I want to remind you, if you are one of the people that has the new YouTube hype button, if ever you see that, throw that hype button on our show. Those hype buttons are for like these lower tier channels and everything. And essentially what that is like a super like that says, hey, I think that would recommend this video going out to more people. So keep an eye out for those hype buttons and stuff in the future. Look for them in the YouTube app. I'm sure they're mostly in the app. Perhaps they're, on the website and stuff as well. My guess is you got to be signed in. So, want to make sure you got an account and all that kind of shit. But everybody that's in the chat, I'm sure, is doing that. But do that. We really appreciate it. That is it, everybody. We got another TikTok Trash Tuesday in the books. I want to thank you guys all for coming out and, helping me go through all of these silliness here and everything. It's something fun that I like to do. We've done it 13 weeks in a row now. And I almost thought about not doing it, but I was like, you know what? Why not? Why am I going to skip another time? I need more material for later to use on social medias and stuff like that. And that's what I want you to do, is follow me on all of them social medias. They're not in the show notes for this week because I was rushing the show this week. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. But that is it, everybody. Join us on Sunday evening, 8 p.m. Right here on YouTube. We're going to be talking about Apollo 13. That's right. It is the 30th anniversary of Apollo 13, and it is back in theaters in IMAX and everything. So if you get a chance and you have one that's near you that's playing, do yourself a favor and go see Apollo 13 in IMAX, and then come back and check us out Sunday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern on HMP. Be a dirty baby in the chat to hang out with us and whatnot. Hang out for the Dinger Zone afterwards. If you're a Patreon person, you can always suggest a Dinger Zone topic to us. I'm trying to maybe I'm thinking maybe top 5 disaster movies or something like that. Help me out in the chat and stuff like that. Patreon.com/HMP. That is it, everybody. Another TikTok Trash Tuesday in the books. We'll see you next time.